The instructions for observing the holiday of Passover in the book of Deuteronomy begin Shamor et Chodesh Ha'aviv. Observe and keep the spring month. Now, why is it so important that Passover occur in the spring? Why doesn't the Torah just say, observe Passover in the month of Nisan, as we come to know the Hebrew month to be called in which we celebrate Passover? The rabbis note that perhaps the Torah was emphasizing that Passover needs to be in spring specifically, aligning with the first sprouting of the barley, which the Israelites, upon leaving in Egypt, would have seen. So what is so important about this first blossoming, as we see outside the window, this beautiful blossoming tree in front of Bethel, as well as all over Harrisburg? What is it that connects the holiday of Passover to this blossoming? I think that the feeling of freedom is really supported by this moment of opening, of blossoming that happens in the spring. It's a feeling of reopening, just as we are doing here at Bethel, having in-person services this week for only the second time since the fall. That gives us a sense of freedom. Just as buds are opening, just as the air is growing warmer, we all come out of our shells, out of the enclosures that we built around ourselves in the winter months to sort of hibernate, both physically staying away from the cold, but also spiritually staying away from groups and large holiday gatherings as we have been in this COVID season. Now that spring is approaching and warm weather is coming and flowers are blooming, we might feel a greater sense of openness to come out, to be together outdoors in safe ways, of course, through the pandemic, but to approach the great spaces of the outdoors and explore, and even exploring in that same process our own hearts and our own minds and our own ambitions, our own desires and dreams. So I hope that in this post-Pesach season, as we count the Omer, as we note the beginning of the barley season, as well as, of course, the beautiful blooms around us, that we feel a greater sense of openness and a greater sense of approachability in the world and in our own hearts. Shabbat Shalom.